Hello everyone. In this class I will teach how to convert CFG into GNF. Okay. Here is that this is a CFG AB and A tends to BS. There is a CFG here and we have to convert into GNF. What is a GNF form is nothing but AI tends to AJ of a non-terminal tends to non-terminal including of any terminal. But here is that it is should be in the form of AI. I should be lesser than A of J. Okay, it should be in order form. Okay, first step to convert CFG into CNF. CFG into GNF. Grammar should be in CNF. See, grammar should be in CNF. In the last session, we thought that what you mean by CNF is nothing but if a non-terminal tends to a set of non-terminal, and set of non-terminal it is called CNF. Okay, then or a non-terminal tends to any terminal, any single terminal, it is also called as CNF. Already this is in CNF form. Step 2. Rename the variable to A1, A2, A3. We have to rename these variables. Here is S is there, no A, B, S. This we have to rename with A1, A2, A3 like this. See here, S is replaced by A1, A is replaced by A2, B is replaced by A3. Okay, see here, S is replaced by A1, A is replaced by A2, B is replaced by A3. As S is a starting symbol, we have to start with A1. Okay, A1 tends to A2, A3. Nothing but S is a A1, A is a A2, B is A3. See this, A1 tends to A2, A3. Like that same. Instead of A, we are using A2. Instead of A, we are using A2. Instead of B, we are using A3. Instead of S, we are using A1. This is 1. A3. Instead of B, we are using A3. Okay. Instead of S, we are using A1. Instead of A, we are using A2. See, A1, A2, 0. Okay. This is step 2, renaming the variables. We have to rename the variables. Okay. There is a step 3. What is step 3 is nothing but, as I said that, see here, we shown that AI should be less than Aij. I should be less than J. See here, we will consider only in this format. This is AI. Only we will consider this one AI and this is AJ. Remaining things you can leave that remaining things. We will consider only these things. AI should be lesser than AJ. 1 is lesser than 2. It is accepting. This is accepting. 2 is lesser than 3. This is also accepting. But A3 is not lesser than 3 is greater than 1. This is not accepting. We have to convert this into GNF. We have to convert this into GNF. These two is already in the form of GNF. We have to convert into GNF. Okay. What is GNF? This AI should be less than AJ. It is not less than AJ. 3 is not less than 1. We have to convert this. That is step 3. Order the production. We have to order the production and remove the recursion where is necessary. Okay. A3 tends to A1, A2, the 0. That, as I said that this is not in GNF form. We have to convert into GNF form. For that, substitute this A1. Instead of this A1, substitute this transaction, A1 transaction. This is A2 and A3. A2 and A3 into A3. Substitute. Instead of this A1, substitute A2 and A3. A3 equals, instead of A1, A2, A3. This A2 carried out same. This as 0. This as 0. Okay. Instead of this A1, we have replaced with A2 and A3. Then, still now, we will not get this in GNF form because A3 is lesser than 2. It should be, I should be lesser than J. 3 is greater than 2. We cannot say it is in GNF form. Again, you have to substitute A2. What is A2? A2 is here. A3, A1. we have to substitute this A2 transaction, or substitute A2 tends to A3A1 1 into A3. Instead of this A2, we have to substitute these two transactions. First, A3 equals, instead of A2, I have substituted this A3A1, 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 A3A2, I carried some. Instead of A2, I have substituted A3, A1. Same, instead of A2, I have substituted 1. Instead of A2, I have substituted 1, A3, A2, 0. Okay, listen here, once again listen here. A2, we have to substitute this A2 into this equation. First, I will substitute this one, A3, A1, instead of A2, A3, A1, A3, A2, A3, A1, A3, A2. Then I will substitute this one, A3, A2. Okay, then I will carry it out 0 again. Okay, now A3 tends to this equation, acceptable. It is in GNF form. Okay, this equation is also acceptable, but we cannot accept this because it's in left recursion. Because it's an A3 tends to A3 itself. A3 tends to A3, A1, A3, A2. It's a left recursion. Since A3 production is having left recursion, eliminate. We have to eliminate the A3 production. How to eliminate A3 production? Okay, we can eliminate A3 production. Instead of this A3, use Z, new variable, new non-terminal. Instead of this A3, we will use Z. See, a Z transaction is that A1, A3, A2, Z. Remove this A3, A1, A3, A2, Z, and write down same thing, A1, A3, A2, without Z, with having a Z. A3, already this is removed. This is converted as new variable. This is converted as new variable, that is Z. We will go with this A3 as 1, A3, A2 and 0. A3, 1, A3, A2, Z, add Z for that, 0 Z, and without Z, without having the Z. Okay, this is with having the Z, without having the Z. This is with having the Z, without having the Z. This is now A3 came to an GNF form. A3 is in GNF form. Since all the transactions are in